Hello YouTube, HandyGuy 2016 here. I want to show you my wood splitter project from last summer actually. My father-in-law and I put this together. We used a boat trailer frame rather, to make the framework, platform for it to sit on. So of course we used the fenders, axle, everything that was off of the boat trailer just to make a little frame to mount our splitter on. And we made this all from scratch. I mean, everything was was built a piece at a time. The oil tank, hydraulic fluid tank, is actually an air tank off of a larger truck with air brakes. We scavenged and of course put our plumbing in and everything to use for our storage tank for our hydraulic oil. We did buy a Lovejoy coupling and a commercial pump, and then also our controls are a commercial setup, just because those were hard to find without purchasing. I've got a Predator 301cc gas engine. I don't remember, I think that's about the equivalent of a 8-horse. It might be bigger than that, I don't remember, but that's an awesome engine. It's really quiet, but it's got all the power that we need. Now the splitter itself, I'll get a little closer and show you, but the backbone of it is an I-beam. It's a 10-inch tall, 8-inch wide I-beam. It was actually a red iron I-beam, and it's 1/2 inch thick on the top and bottom rails, top and bottom plates. So good, heavy red iron I-beam. Made an excellent platform. The cylinder that we used is actually the plow cylinder off of an old bulldozer. The bulldozer is probably built in the 1920s, but the cylinder is just super stout, had the right amount of length that we needed to make a splitter out of. And as you see here on the side, I have 2 settings, and I just pull a pin. It's a T-handle pin on the other side and a key on this side. Those are the 2 typical sizes of wood that myself and my father-in-law burn. So I've got those 2 settings, so you've got less travel time back and forth on your ram, which this thing moves pretty quick anyways, but it just saves you some time on splitting. And on the push plate, I took a piece of the I-beam. This is the top plate of the I-beam, and when I cut it off with the torch, I was going to cut this off smooth, but as I started to cut, I thought, man, you know, if I leave some teeth on there, that'll really help keep the wood from sliding around, and it does work. It does an excellent job of keeping the firewood in place. Nothing ever slips around or moves. Now, to keep this fixed to the plate, I welded this angle iron. This is some heavy 3/8 angle iron, 2x2, and it's just wrapped around the I-beam. There's no play. I mean, it's very snug. And I was going to put a grease cert in the side of it where I could squirt some grease in it from time to time, but honestly, after using it a little bit, I don't think it needs it. I could eventually put a grease cert in it and grease it if I need to, but it does a fantastic job. Doesn't seem to have any kind of binding issue. It's not moving fast enough for there to really be any friction. So the control up here, like I said, that's a commercial. It's just a wood splitter control. It has the indent, so you have to hold it down to move it forward, and then when you kick it back, it automatically reverses itself until it gets to the very back, and then it kicks off. So that control is just perfect for a wood splitter. No need in trying to find something when you can. I think that was $75. And this whole project, I mean, the cost of purchasing the boat trailer, which even had a title, so you know, I no use for that, but the boat trailer, all the materials that we put into it, I think altogether we ended up putting $400 into this wood splitter, and it is heavy duty. And this little trailer area, we've got some expanded metal. We're probably gonna kind of make a floor in it, and maybe some short sides, short sides, where you could throw your splitting maul and your wedges and chainsaws, gas, oil, that kind of stuff. So when you go out to cut some firewood, you'd have everything you need to cut, split, and then go get your trailer and haul it back. And I might even put a hitch on the back of my trailer so that I can just tow this behind. Now the truck that we scavenged, it was an old farm truck that we scavenged some parts off of. The air tank, and then also the running boards on the sides, we took those, and I just kind of made myself a little platform on both sides of this, where I can set pieces down that I need to resplit, that need to be split again, you know, or I can have several small pieces stacked up there while I'm splitting. I can just, especially if I'm by myself, I can just kind of keep going that way. Now my bit that I used to actually split the logs, I'll show you if I can. Not gonna be able to see this back in here, but this is about 4 inches wide, and it was actually a piece of an arm that was on that dozer that we scavenged the cylinder off of. So altogether, I think this is 14, maybe 16 inches tall. The part that actually cuts is only about 8 or 10 inches tall. It's not super tall, but man, that thing is stout. I cut a wedge with the torch, and then I smoothed it out a little bit with the grinder, left some of the roughness in it. It just kind of helps catch the wood. And then I welded this heavy angle iron on both sides, and that helps to split it faster so that it's not just trying to cut through, but it's actually pushing it apart and causes it to split. I'm probably going to make an attachment for this that I've seen on other splitters, where it'll attach and give you wings on both sides of this, so that you can split. If you had a round piece of wood, you could split it into 4 pieces at the same time. And I'm going to try to make that where I can change the height of it, so if I want real small pieces, I can lower it, or raise it for bigger pieces. So again, like I said, everything on this, especially metal wise, was either taken from that piece of red iron I-beam that I had, or scavenged off of either the dozer or the farm truck. This oil filter assembly, and even some of this hose. Some of the hose I did put new hose on, but some of the hose, like the red one, is actually hose off of that farm truck. It was some kind of a spreader, silage spreader truck, so it had some hydraulic components, but it didn't have any cylinders. It had hydraulic motors, but no cylinders, and the hydraulic motors didn't have the strength to push a cylinder. So this pin, this T-handle pin, I welded this pin, the smaller pin, on there for a handle, but that's actually the pin that was holding the cylinder on the dozer. So we scavenged that. I'll start this thing up and show you how quick it moves, but it really turned out pretty cool. And with this little area back here, whenever I get around to actually putting a bed on it, that'll be a nice area to have to carry your tools. So switch this engine on real quick, turn the fuel on, choke it, and throttle up. Okay, step back here. I'm going to let that run out of fuel so that I don't have any fuel setting in the carburetor. And if you're thinking about building your own wood splitter, I hope this gives you some ideas. It was definitely cheaper than buying one, and I really like how it turned out. So there you go. Have a good day.